Somebody asked me a question today. Like, soon as I read the question, I kind of felt like the question was asked out of guilt, and I felt like the person knew the answer to the question, but they just wanted to see what I think about it and see, if anybody else can tell if they're bullshitting themselves. And yes, like, when you know the answer to a question and you ask somebody else the question, that means like it shows a lack of belief in yourself and your intuition, and it shows that you're testing people to see, if you are, if you're capable of being read, and nowadays is like at the rate that being spiritual and people trusting their intuitions and then all the energetic changes that's happening in the world, if somebody's like is in a state where they're clairvoyant enough, a lot of people can pick up on the bullshit. And the question was, I was gonna answer the question in the DM, but I figured since I'll be making the the little snippets for the high water content fruits and veggies fast, I'd answer it that way. And today is day 39 of the 180 days high water content fruits and veggies fast. If you haven't been tapping in, tap in. Even if you do it for a day, eat only fruits and veggies that has a water content of 75% and up. 70% and up. But the question was like, person asked me was, can do you love yourself if you eat meat? Or not, do you, can you love yourself if you eat meat? It's like a two-way answer for me. It's a yes and no. Like I'm one of the persons that truly believe in the yin and the yang, the darkness and light and in and out. I'm not one of those all love and all light type of people, even though it might seem like it, because I wear stuff like crystals, and I meditate, and I'm a raw vegan, and and I'm pushing back to nature and all this stuff. People might think that I'm all about love and pushing love, which that's like me. I believe that's when I operated at my best. That's like how I like to feel. And there's people out there that thrive off toxicity and negativity, and when they're in the chaos and they like to fight and like to beat people up, like people thrive, or there's people that thrive off the dark side, you feel me? And I don't blame those people. Like, and there's people that like to operate in certain environments that feed off different energies, and those energies exist, so you can't blame anyone for operating of energy. And we all know energy is not, cannot be created or destroyed. So whatever energies that people are operating through, it exists. So it's not their fault that there's a certain energy that exists for them to operate through. And whatever energy that they tap into, they happen to like it and they operate that way. So I don't blame people for operating out of darkness or light, or out of light and darkness. You feel me? And if anybody knows about your kundalini and the energy and the forces, for somebody to truly become your whole full self, you really have to accept your dark and your light, and they combine together and make you whole. And that's the way the universe operate. Some people call it God, and some one side God, on one side Satan, darkness and evil and all that. But one wouldn't really make sense without the other. Like, you know and while we living in both, within both energies, and certain people choose to live within love and light, and I don't blame them also. And certain people like myself choose to accept both, even though I thrive off of love, but I don't deny the fact that I have that other aspect or side of me. And if it's brought out, like, I'm not gonna be mad at myself. I'm like, oh, you got angry or you did this. Nah. But to answer the question of the person that asked me, can you love yourself while eating bad? Yes, you can, and no, you can't. You can love yourself, like, if you're unaware, like, like, I'm Haitian. Like when I tell somebody I'm raw vegan, first of all, even vegan, like or alkaline when I was alkaline vegan, to me being great growing up Haitian and being raised on rice and beans and certain things for people to know that I'm Haitian and I don't eat rice and beans, that alone or blow certain people that know about Haitians mind. And to tell people that I don't eat cooked food, it's like whoa. I'm like a not even an elephant in the room. I'm the alien in the room. Like I don't eat cooked food. Yes, like if you're unaware of your actions and what you're doing, what it's doing to yourself, yes, you can have a whole lot of love for yourself. You know, it's just like a kid that their first time putting their hand in the fire, they get burned. That kid, you know, like they're in a state where they don't know, you know, if they put their hand in that fire they're gonna get burned. Just because go in there and put their hand in that fire and they get burned doesn't mean that they don't love themselves. It's just they're unaware. They're in a state of, you know, in a dark state, I would call it. But it's more to elaborate on that because most of the stuff we know come from darkness. Darkness is, to me, is way brighter than a light, but that's another topic. Like if you're unaware and you don't know, yes, you can love yourself and still eat bad and do things that's destructive. It's all about awareness and what you know. But if you know better, like, and if you know, like have examples around you and you've done your research and then you still continue those same patterns, now, you know, it's a totally different story. Like, yo, there's a lack of self love. Like, yo, you know, if I'm laying on the couch right now. If I stand up on this couch and I jump, I'm gonna break my leg. And then I get up on the couch, I jump and I break my leg. Like my nigga, like there's a lack of self care and self love for yourself because I didn't give a fuck about myself and I did it anyway and I purposely hurt myself. So if you knowingly doing so, which is nowadays we're in the information age where everything is accessible. You can Google, and you don't even gotta Google. You go on Instagram now. The you know the vegan and knowledge movement, like everything is being shared at such a high rate, you know. And once you tap into something, it's kind of like the internet and everything is kind of like how life is. That's how I look at the algorithm. Once you tap into something, they push more of it to you. You know, they push more of that same thing. Like once you like one vegan post or one post about knowledge, they push the same thing to you. You know, and you start going into the rabbit hole and learning more and more about it. You know, it's just like life. You know, you wake up one day and you start creating a programming for yourself, whether it's you meditate and you work out and you go about just your day a certain way. It's kind of like you wake up the next day. It's kind of like your action from the day before start to repeat itself because it start to become part of your programming slowly and slowly. And the more you do it, it's kind of like you don't even got to think about doing it no more. You just wake up and you just go about it because you've programmed yourself to become that way. And if your programming has led you to a place where you know better and you still going against your programming and your knowledge and what you know and what you saw, then there's definitely, you know, a lack of love there from yourself, you know. And that's something that you got to tap in with yourself and find out what makes you like this. You know, a lot of people say you crazy when you talk to yourself. A lot of stuff that we've been taught is a lie, but sometimes like you got to talk to yourself. You got to ask yourself why you act a certain way and why aren't you doing stuff that you know, genuinely, wholeheartedly know, like if you do them, it's gonna be for the betterment of yourself. And a great percentage of the answers are gonna get down to, you know, lack of love for yourself. Because if you wholeheartedly love yourself and you know something is harmful to you, whether it's people, places, and things, like you're gonna cut all those things off and people off and places and so on and so forth. So ultimately, yes, if you know, then it is definitely a lack of love. And since you came to me and asked me that question, there's something inside of you that knows. That's why you came to me, because you see the life I'm living in there, and something inside you resonate with what I be talking about and the fast that I'm doing and how I'm going about things. And you know, like, damn, the way I'm living and how I'm going about things is detrimental to me. So that's why you came and asked me that question. So the answer to your question, yes, it's definitely a lack of self-love and self-care, and definitely discipline there also. But to certain people, it's depending on who's asking the question. And then I can honestly say it is self-love, because if you get to the, it's not even on depending on who's asking the question. Like, if you get to the point where you asking that question, something led you to asking that question, and whatever led you to asking that question is something inside you that knows you've been fucking up, and that's why you reaching out for answers. So it's most definitely self-love, and the more you tap into that self-love, and you start loving yourself, you're gonna get all the answers and all the knowledge and how to go about things the way you wanna go about things. Not the way I fast, not the way I eat, not the way I view the world. I'm just, a mirror for you to look at yourself and get the answers to live the way how you want to live, not how anyone else is living, not how any gurus or anybody else in the world is living. I'm a raw vegan, because that's the process that that the voice that you hear in the spirit that want to live like I'm meant to live. Like, if somebody asks me, like, do I love cheese, did I love mayo and all this other stuff? Fuck yeah, I did. I was the biggest junk eater. I ate hot dogs. I'm one of those people, like, that tried damn near everything in a book, like from deer meat to alligators to frogs. I done try everything. Like, my taste buds is off the hook. Like, I loved eating all type of stuff that was detrimental to me. And so once I found out, you know once I had, like, a wild spiritual awakening phase, that I realized certain things wasn't, for me. Not just the me that you looking at, the guy with the beard and the dread and a receding hairline and whatever, and do music and have a Back to Nature t-shirt that you can go on washwear.com and order. Yes, it's unisex. Ladies, get your size or a size under. Fellas, get your size or a size up. Or if you want it loose, go 2 sizes up. Go to washwear.com and tap in. But that's the answer to the question. And back to day 39 of the 180 days hot water content fruits and veggies fast. It's going great. 39 days is a lot of days. It went from 180 days to how much I got left? 100 and what? 49 days left, and we're just gonna keep going. And the thing is to make this keep going way past 180 days, and to literally cut off all the stuff I wanted to cut off, the nuts and the seeds and all that. And I'm feeling great and I'm happy about it. Honestly, I look great. I ain't even wash my ass. I do nothing to my face yet, and I'm out here glowing in the dark. And to anybody else that has some questions that y'all want to ask me, like, I might answer them in a DM, or I might go and make a videos like this as a response, which is beneficial to you, because a lot of people learn different ways, and one of the most popular ways that people learn is like face to face and seeing, and because with this you get to see and hear, and it can repeat over and over in your subconscious and into your program, and whatever resonate with you, get that, stay in your system and be helpful to you. And these talks and questions are super helpful to me also. Like, all these fasts and all these stuff that I be sharing, like, yes, is for the people, but most part for myself also, because when I upload these videos and I watch them, like, they're very, like, instrumental and helpful to me also. Cause like I'm more like one of those people, like I don't consider myself like a thinker. A lot of stuff that I say, like it just be coming out of me, and it be things that I say sometimes, like damn, where did that come from? Like I didn't read that from a book, or I don't I don't even know how I came up with that, but it just came from a source somewhere, and it the stuff that I say resonate with me, and I keep it also. So y'all helping me out just like I'm helping y'all out in whatever way, shape, or form that I'm helping y'all out. You know, and as y'all know, this message, this video, everything is coming from a place of love. And as y'all know, love always wins. It's the law. And remember, peace is a weapon. Hit them with peace.